Here's one way to know the kind of person you are and the kind of person you want to become. And it's to notice when you hurt other people. You hurt other people's feelings. Um, in this moment, we're going to do one of two things. Number one, we're going to keep at it or not really care and therefore really not do anything about it. Um, or number two, we're going to start to feel bad. And this could even happen after the situation. It could happen maybe later on that evening or even the next day. But at some point, closer to the situation than it rather being much, much later, we're going to feel bad. And a lot of times we're going to feel bad in the situation and think maybe how we're being is wrong or what another person is doing that we're with that's a part of this problem making it worse, how they're being wrong. So this is to show the kind of person we are. Now, a lot of us who make the problem worse or joke about it even to the person's face, or if we're with other people that aren't really doing much about it or are making it worse or they're kind of being like we're being, they could be supporting us or we're supporting them, and it's almost as if nobody can see how wrong this is. I'm not saying another person who's getting mad or if they're, getting so aggravated and stuff, or if they're even crying, that they're correct. But why hurt other people regardless? Why bother them so much? Why make them feel so bad? First off, why make such a problem? Like, what's the point in making such a problem? I guess maybe there's a small section of life situations where it's like it doesn't matter. This problem needs to get worse. We need to fight. We need to, maybe there's a select amount of situations, if that needs to be like that. But most of the time, no. And when we're like this, right, when we are going at it or we just, we're making it worse, that shows that we're struggling. We're struggling to actually to just be a caring person. That's as simple as it is. I'm not saying you have to care about the people or the person that you're in this conflict with, but to care what you're doing. Because when you don't care what you're doing, what happens is we get so defensive and argumentative and just really off-putting. It's like this isn't really something that we should be pat on the back for or say, you know what, good job, you really hurt that other person, or nice going, that other person really deserved it. And let's just say even if they do deserve it, why to such a degree? Why like, do you really think that person's learning? or that person is just unable to process because they're in an anxious state, or a defensive one, or an attacking one. Like, how are they going to, if you think you're actually helping them, how is that really even possible? Well, anyone could say, well, no, later on they'll remember the situation, or they'll look back on it, and that's where the learning will occur. Well, how do you know that later on they're still gonna they're gonna even think about it in any positive way? I mean, you're thinking about it in a negative way. You think they're not going to think about it in a negative way? They're not going to still be angry and pissed off, or associate you with this negative perception? So it's like, that's a bunch of crap, because you can't really get through to being more open-minded when your mind is so fixated and controlled, and we could even say stuck in a way of being right, or being however it is, but it's definitely not flexible and more capable with creativity and willingness to further understand different perspectives, and to have a well-rounded ability of reflecting, instead of just being narrow and stuck. And people will call that, when they're in these moments, correct or right, or saying, no, you don't understand, you're not seeing it this way. Okay, well, if we're not seeing it that way, why aren't we able to see it in a variety of ways to almost an equal perspective? So this is showing in these moments that we're stuck. If you're like this, your mind isn't allowing you to be vulnerable. It's not allowing you to work with just being able to care and respect and love and provide, and all that's like helpful, right? All that's just, how is any of that ever bad, right? I'm not saying you need to allow whatever is occurring to continue, but that's where this comes in, because you're not going to continue to allowing the insanity to continue. You're not going to continue being all out of sorts with what you think is with sorts. It's just a much more clearer way of just being able to see what's actually occurring. And we could see ourselves, we could see clearer. And then the people who feel bad in these moments, right? And you're like, you know what, this is wrong. I'm being wrong. The way I just talked was wrong. My whole attitude is wrong. Maybe I yelled and screamed, or maybe I just put them down, or maybe, I'm talking down to them. Maybe I'm trying to manipulate them to believe what I believe is right. Even if I do believe it is right, I'm manipulating them. Or maybe I just feel bad. I don't know why. Maybe the people I'm with that are also being like this, I feel bad the way they're being. I don't know what to say, but I just continue to contribute to the insanity. This type of person, if you're realizing this isn't okay, you're in a really good place. Now, if you can't do anything, or you don't know what to do, at least you're on the right path of realizing, I don't ever want to be like that again. I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't want to support anyone that's like that. So when you start to look at life like that, you yourself is going to develop into a type of person that actually cares more, that actually is happier. The other type of person, they're going to be more closed off. They'll be more stubborn. They're going to be more like, the type of person that's really just, I'd like to say it's really about them, but it's really about their fear, who's always right and confrontational and, they're just it's like, yeah, maybe they're fun to be around, or maybe they're enjoyable, or maybe they seem like they care sometimes, but they're not the kind of person that will be able to love, to be able to look past themselves, to be able to just really put others first, or uh, to give instead of taking more. And they're they're not going to be able to be like that unless they start to realize their own ways, unless they start to realize this is wrong. And when they start flipping it towards themselves and say, I don't want to be like this anymore, that's the best place to be in. Or at least that will lead to that is, something's not right with this. Something's not right. And then that gets you on at least the direction of, well, let's look at ourselves. Let's look at how we're being. And then you start getting closer, or if you eventually just get there, or you are there at whatever point, I don't want to be like that. Man, you're on the road to not only having better perspectives, a clearer ability of seeing what truth is or what could be, but this is going to lead to happiness, because you're not going to be stuck in just reactivity. You're not just going to be in the same type of relationships. You're going to be more willing to see other people's perspectives and care more how they think and feel, and that in itself is going to lead you to closer connections with others, because you're going to experience them differently. You're going to experience their ideas differently. You're going to care more of their reality. Not to say yours no longer matters, or it doesn't mean anything. No, it's because you're able to do that because you now are looking at your reality the same way, or as deep or deeper, and therefore you can give that to others. It's going to be more natural. It's not, you're not going to have to try. Now, people who can't become more, I'd like to say, flexible and therefore creative with this, and your mind is just going to give you your own reality. So you're going to be the way you're going to be until that changes. And when that changes, now you have a different reality, a different way of viewing life, a different way of just thinking. And it's going to be natural either way. Natural for the unhealthy viewpoint in ways that we get stuck on, and we're so it's like it's like a fist that's all balled up ready to fight, or most of the time it looks like there's something about it that's needing to protect and engage, instead of being open and flexible and willing to share. You can change this, but it's not simple. You can't just be a different person one day. I mean, you could, but it's not going to stay. It's almost similar to trying to change a habit or include something new in your life. It's very difficult because we're not used to it. There's so much going on with processing at the neurological level, and maybe even at the chemical level of your own body, just how hormones are released, and your body cells are just working to change, because simply how you're viewing, in a way, yourself, and may not even realize that's all it comes down to.